You know, when I'm encouraging a child, or anyone in that matter, when they're learning to play guitar, regardless of how much times they mess up, how much time they miss between chords, we always encourage them to keep going, push through the hard times, and always play right from your heart. And you know how much sacrifice a family will go through when somebody gets a drum kit and they're learning to play drums. And the family has to listen to terrible drumming and drum solos and terrible hand control for a very long time before it becomes a superpower that child will gain. In the world we're living in now, I don't see that encouragement to developing somebody's voice. We have to know that learning to speak and learning our truth and learning about ourselves is just like learning that guitar. And we should be that benevolent family that is able to withstand some misspeech, some learning how to speak, to help that person to that higher voice or truth inside themselves. I've been told in my life to stop and think more about what you say and stay quiet, and all this anger towards me learning to speak and just being a person that was searching for truth. And I started to get resentful at the world and started to just go on my way and kind of live away from the world. And I have to, parts of me were resentful that I couldn't fit in with these groups, but I have to remember is that alone time, that time away from everything is what developed me into the unique person I am. There's many people that they don't even know if the words themselves are coming out of their own mouths. When you hear how people talk about like the Bible and religion and stuff, it's the same talking point. I can tell that it's spreading through social media, and they just hear some intellectual say these words, and it spreads through to millions of people, and people hear the same words spread, and it's not even their own words. And that's because that's the only way that they could feel safe to speak, is to use somebody else's words rather than find their own. And I believe that comes from a society that doesn't allow us the space and encourage people to find their own voice. In school, they tell us, be quiet, listen, and learn exactly what are in these textbooks that are being passed down by people above us. Not encouraging any individuality, and instead trying to create, unfortunately, a slave race. How will we build these new schools here for our new world? Well, one thing I can say is allow the child to teach you how to teach them. There's never learning without teaching at the same time. You never teach without learning. These are things that happen at the same time. And if we can build these new structures for the children that are based on something more intuitive like this, I think we're going to find superpowers in people. So let's encourage people into those superpowers, Encourage them from what's inside. When you kill God from the world becomes external and materialistic. When we encourage those voices and those beauties that are inside people, they come to unbelievable places inside themselves, and they don't need all this stuff. If we want to solve this plague called capitalism, and I'm with you, this hasn't been true capitalism. This has been cartelism and overuse. I've overused in my life. I'm learning now how simple I can be. And when we make us so comfortable, they used all of these comforts to buy our souls. So unfortunately and fortunately, we're going to have to give up some of these comforts, because that's where we'll find our spirit. So let's encourage people to out in this world to experience this world. That's how we can encourage people on their external. Experience this world. But only experience this world how it lines up inside your heart and inside your mind. When you separate those two things, that's where this havoc in the world comes from. So, love and truth and God are all one. And there is truths spoken in many different ways that we all know inside our hearts. Once we get past the things that block us in our minds from all the harm that has been done to us in this society we live. Let's stop the harm. We know now what to do. We don't need to be led around anymore. We can lead ourselves now, and we can communicate, negotiate, to find those higher truths on how we're going to run our communities. We are coming to that, but we have to know we can do it. And that's why we have to encourage each other as much as we encourage that child learning to play guitar. voice is in all of us. Our environment either brings it out of us or hides it deep inside us. The more we know this voice, the more that we know we all carry this voice. And it's really saying the same thing as everyone else's true voice. And that's where we can find peace, in encouraging the voice in every one of us. And in that, we will find a lot of push and pull and learning how. But that's where we find peace with our people and peace with God. So encourage the voice. This voice takes courage. This voice takes courage. This voice takes courage.
Thank you all for speaking your truth, and I appreciate all of you who have the courage to speak right now with so many things in our external world trying to push our truth away. The devil is trying to wear out its warriors, and we will not be worn out, will we? Much love and God bless.